Welcome back, everybody, to Rimworld. Yesterday, we started building, we rebuilt basically the entire base, which I'm pretty glad that we did, because it looks a lot nicer now. We've got a lot more room to kind of maneuver and do things with. I'm probably going to readjust this as well at some stage. I was kind of watching it back, and I wondered why I had such a large freezer that we're really not using much space. So I might extend the dining room down, maybe cut it off down there, bring some tables down here, and give ourselves a larger rec room or something like that. It doesn't matter. We're only changing like a small amount of walls at that point. Still got 2,700 steel in the stockpile, and we've still got another 2,000 steel out there in the world with plenty more designations. So I'm really not bothered about having to rebuild whatever at any point. On the subject of rebuilding stuff at any point, someone left a comment yesterday, which was Big Brain Play. Apparently it was on the episode before that, but I must have just missed it somehow. Basically saying, why don't you leave a one-block gap between the walls and build a roof? Because that way we know that the tornadoes can't, in theory, pass through. That's Big Brain Play. To be honest, we should be doing that with our external walls anyway, for multiple reasons. Number one is that when an enemy, you might have noticed this, but when a sapper breaks down a wall, say they broke down a wall there, they won't immediately dash forward and go for this one. They might come over here and attack this one, or they might go to this one, attack this one, and trap themselves in a little bit more. Similarly, with external walls, we might get a sapper breaking in here, walking all the way around, and then breaking this wall over there. Now, we've got a lot of pathfinding mods, so that might not be such an easy thing to rely on this time, but it is worth bearing in mind that the AI sometimes gets a little confused. Now, the cool thing about these walls is this is basically all we've built so far of the second layer of wall. So we're going to lose a small amount of steel. Really not a massive amount at all because it's only 21 blocks times 15. It's barely anything. We might lose 100 or so steel doing that. But we do have a lot of the walls delivered to. Like, for example, all of these wall blocks contain steel. Apparently we've got a little bit more there built as well. I think Shamus did that at the end of yesterday, didn't he? But the point is it won't take 2 seconds to actually get them to move the resources over to a new wall layer, so we're really not losing too much time. They've done the bulk of the work already. It just takes our builders now to go over there and kind of finish the job. So I'll go ahead and remove all these internal walls, and we'll let them build that up instead. And again, there's a lot of reasons for doing that. You know, say, for example, we were playing with the embrasures mod. We could obviously build embrasures. We could have multiple layer thick walls that we would have to, you know, we could escape through quickly with auto doors, but the AI would have to bash down multiple layers of doors. It makes them more mortar-proof. That's always a big one. You know, if you've got 3 layers of walls and they get hit by a mortar, okay, maybe the first layer is going to take a little bit of damage, but the other 2 are probably going to be fine. Especially now they're more spaced out, whereas if you have all 3 of them together, that's the minimum range of a mortar, right? Or sorry, that's the maximum external radius of a mortar, so circumference is the word I was looking for there. So it would still do the same kind of damage. I like this idea. We might try and I'll try and implement this in every future Rimworld series as well, because it's just a more effective method of building walls. Obviously 1.2 is out, so the other thing I want to talk about very briefly is the ending kind of victory win condition for this particular playthrough. Now, as we go through the game more and more, we're in theory going to get more and more comfortable with regards to insulation. What I mean by that is, of course, as the years progress, we're gonna be fine. You know, we've already played 3 years right now. Bearing in mind we've had the Ice Age, we've had the Inferno, we've had the Tornado. We're coming up to our 4th year now in game. What I could say is every year we could increase the difficulty of the storyteller so that we go up to, so next year when the Inferno comes, we go up to Blood and Dust. Next year after that, we go up to Merciless for the final Tornado, and if we survive that, we can call it a victory, perhaps. Alternatively, we can go with the more traditional Rimworld win condition, which is get a spaceship out of here. So I'll leave that up to you guys. Now, my original thought was, let's travel across the world, find the AI ship, and fly away. Firstly, we haven't got an AI ship. Secondly, the things like Ice Age and Inferno are map-specific. So as we're traveling up to the ice cap, it'll only start getting cold when we get up to the ice cap, and even then, if we start traveling during an Ice Age, it's going to be, 200 degrees cooler, or warmer, I should say, than at the base that we left from, so it probably won't be such a big deal by comparison. So that kind of ending scenario that I kind of originally came up with isn't really going to work, but I'll leave it up to you guys to... I'll check out what the comment section has to say before I make a decision on that. I quite like the idea of increasing the difficulty, because this is parry persistent as well, and he does hit quite hard. And like I said, the longer we play, the more comfortable we're going to get. So let's say, for example, we do end up building the polymer insulation with heaters. Well, that means that there's going to be no other ice ages that really hurt us, because at that point we're fine, right? As long as we've got enough food, there's really nothing at that point that could ever stop us. On the subject to that, we have an Ice Age coming. We've got 15 days before the Ice Age turns up. We could, very simply, take apart the gas coolers to replace them with gas heaters. We'd lose a few components. We've got 21 components right now, so it wouldn't be a big deal. We'd lose a few components. We'd be safe. So that's really not a top priority, to be honest. We've got to put some beds down in here too. I'd like to also give this person a dedicated bedroom that isn't kind of an extra room. So what I'll do is I'll reinstall that end table, we'll take that apart, and we'll reinstall the bed over into that one. And we'll keep this purely for emergency situations. But like I said, we could very easily just take this apart, put some heaters in there, and we know that we can survive that because we've done it before. And the Inferno is much worse than, in my opinion anyway, than the Ice Age. So, I mean, that's a fairly simple thing to deal with, particularly as obviously base game coolers, things like that require a heat exhaust. Can't really do that in the Inferno, but you can build heaters that obviously don't have a cold exhaust, so to speak. So that's very simple to do. Wild woman wanders in. Person living among wild animals wants into the area. She's called Zinada. What's she like? Creepy breathing. 8 melee. 7 social. Not fantastic. Nimble is quite nice. Old gunshot. We could just capture and sell her off. We would really do the kind of slavery thing, but in this situation, obviously, we're not really doing it for slavery more so than we are. We're just doing a trade, aren't we? Just doing a nice trade. Oh god, there's actually a load of components just lying around. It's 41 components lying around outside, just from where we've taken apart these ship parts. What I might do then is I might go ahead and Sharamus's highest priority is deconstruction, deconstructing steel bed. Okay, you seem quite slow. Slower than usual. I mean, I know he's got that peg leg. We should work on bionics, I think, as well. That's probably not a bad idea. Bear in mind, I might also build... Sorry, I'm doubling down on thoughts here, but I might build a fresh bed, just because he's got much more building skill now. It'll probably be much higher quality than this one in here. What was I about to say? Right, so I think we should work on bionics. Bear in mind, now that we've got a fabrication bench, we can make as many components as we need, and that was really the limiting factor last time. So I think that's probably going to be a pretty alright idea. Auto doors replacing everything would also be fantastic, but we've got a lot of... We would need to replace a lot of doors. I could limit the amount of doors we've got. That's 58 components. It's quite expensive. But we do have a lot of weird doors in weird places. Like 2 doors going into there. I mean, we've got 6 doors going into the freezer in total, which is very much overkill. I'm going to make sure Sharamus very quickly deconstructs all these ship chunks so we know we've got to work with regards to components. Each one's dropping like 10 apiece, aren't they? That's just so powerful. That event is so strong. However, I guess... Conversely, if it lands on your base, it would be cataclysmic. Like, it would destroy everything you've got. This is where, again, I'm glad that we banned mountain bases for this series, because a lot of the actual difficulties and challenges this time around have come from the fact that we don't have a mountain base. If you had a mountain base, the meteor storms wouldn't affect you, the ship chunks wouldn't affect you, the heat and the cold would be far less devastating, the tornadoes wouldn't even touch you. I'm glad that we banned it this time around, but my god, I'm looking forward to building another mountain base, hopefully next series, to be honest. Because the next series is going to be a bit more of a base game Rimworld playthrough, so that I can... you know, kind of get used to the new systems involved. What I'm thinking is we'll probably play a bit closer to the base game with some mods for convenience, so things that kind of similar to what we've got now. You know, we've already got no massive mods going in this mod pack besides Yayo's Planet, which is kind of causing us a lot of issues. Oh, Jesus. Okay. That's a bit of a problem. Let's pull back to base a second. So yeah, besides Yayo's, it's not really been... much different to a base game Rimworld playthrough. The installation mod obviously being a big part of that as well, but outside of that, it's been very standard, hasn't it? So, what I'm thinking is we'll do something very similar to this pack for the next playthrough so that I can see the new features, but that'll only be a short series. Who have we got that doesn't have weapons? Shit, a lot of people. It's not ideal, but we are just working on obviously the research there, so shouldn't be for much longer. Let's get Bobbert into here as well. I think he already is. Bear has a pistol. That's something. I'm also going to put those guys at the end so we can kind of keep track of gun upgrades. I think what I'll do is we'll put the people who need upgraded weapons closer to the end. Like that. And we can upgrade from this side forwards. Because a lot of these guys have pretty decent weapons. Port being, you know, one of the exceptions there. Right, let's get you over here. Now I'm going to use this to... Oh shit, Cass doesn't have a weapon either. Wow. Let's use the barricade to attack the insects. I know it's not the best point of engagement. But it is probably best to give us a chance to retreat if we get overwhelmed. And we can hit them from here too, more importantly. Let's go for that one. Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot. How do we want to go about this? I think stop firing at the ship for a start. Let's start firing at that mega spider. Also, we got friendly fire, which a lot of our people are upset by. See, what I wanted to do is kind of pull them back, lure them through this method, so that we could... Okay, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. There we go, there we go. That's what I like to see. Let's move them back through here so they're forced to climb over the barriers. And we can do a lot of damage as they are slowed down there. Sharamus has stopped moving. I don't like that. I think it's because of his gun, isn't it? It's quite a... Yep, okay. He should definitely never run and gun. That gun actually makes him stand still when he's firing. Okay, they're getting a little bit close again. The only issue is, they did go for that wild woman. So I'm thinking we come up to... Let's go up to here. Let's also not run and gun. I'm going to go ahead and disable that. Hopefully that will disable it across the board. Yeah, it looks as if it has. Let's go ahead and get some distance. There we are. Okay, what are they doing? What are they going for now? Blue fur doormat. See, we don't want that to happen when we get so far away that they decide to attack our base rather than our people. Let's pull them up to, like, here. And when we start aggroing on these spiders again, the rest of the insects should come back over, I think. Or not. That's quite annoying. But we are picking them off one by one, which is fine. Right, come back down to here, then. Let's see what damage we can do over here. Minor break risk. You're going to have to put up with it. There is a horde of insects. Now I'm going to say we can run a gun. Bearing in mind, we've got, again, a good amount of distance there. They're going to have to come back over the thing if they want to attack. Let's go ahead and stand like there. It's probably not too terrible. They are coming in quite fast, but we can't keep doing this all day. Go on, then. There we are. That's what I like to see. Good shooting. Good shooting. Here we go. Right. Kill that thing. Very nice. This has been not bad, I don't think. Not too terribly handled. I've been a little over cautious. Far more cautious than I normally would be. But we haven't lost anything essential. That one's attacking wind turbine. Not too concerned about that one, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think we're okay. I think we're okay. Let's go ahead and reclaim our base. Kick out a couple of... What have we got here? Some larvae. I don't know what they become. Is it just a random insect? Turning into an adult insect, there's no way to tell what it becomes until it crawls out of its cocoon. Okay, fair enough then. That's a cool idea. I quite like that. Otherwise, if it said, like, Mega Spider Larvae, you would obviously just gun that one down first, or Queen Larvae, or whatever the other ones are added in this mod pack. Let's line up, let's spread out a little bit more so we're not accidentally going for friendly fire there against our own people. Oh, there's a Mega Spider coming in. Okay, fair enough. Watch our wind turbines. Doesn't really matter too much if they get damaged or broken. We can rebuild that. We can't rebuild our poor people's limbs, at least not quite yet. And this should be fairly easy, I think, now. We've lost a day. We have lost a day dealing with these insects, but it was quite literally life or death there. Okay, very good. We're getting a lot of components, like an absurd amount of components. That's why I'm not so bothered about preparing for the Ice Age, because we could just build a room quite literally rammed with heaters if we got desperate. And let's go through this door. Might be a little bit of a risky play, but it shouldn't be too bad. Let's go line up here. And that should be fine. Very nice. Hey, well handled. Not bad at all. No damages, no injuries. She's bleeding out 2 hours. I'm not going to bother trying to save her, to be honest with you. Done. Very good. Okay, let's get these... Oh, we've got another Mega Scarab up there. Should probably get a few people working together on that one. Were those all the ship chunks? So it looks like those were all the ship chunks. There we are. Perfect. Wow. Let's get those finished off as soon as possible. Really, I should get them all beheaded by fingers. I might do that just to be double sure. And get all of these guys beheaded as soon as possible. What happens if you behead an innocent person? I don't know if they get annoyed about that. I'm going to do it either way. Oh, more meteorites. Wow. What was that one? They're buying more steel and a shitload of gold. And we've got uranium too. I think that's the first time we've ever had a uranium deposit appear like that. That's fantastic. This series, obviously. That's great if we were planning on building one of the nuclear reactors. I still want to try and get one of those down before the Ice Age comes in, because it produces so much heat that it would be... To be honest, I feel like the heat probably wouldn't be so effective as it goes, you know, further and further into the Ice Age. Bearing in mind that we were able to previously cool one of those nuclear reactors with just, like, regular coolers, so it's not going to be that much of a difference. But it will... Again, it's essentially a free heater that provides energy, so we're getting a lot of net benefits out of that. 121 components. Now, last time I said, when are we ever going to need that many components, and we lost them all, so I've got to be careful, but that is a crazy amount. That's ridiculous. It's far more than I think we will ever need. Just make sure I haven't hauled any other steel that's just by a deposit. There we are. I'm going to go ahead and increase hauling to highest priority. I already have, apparently. The only reason they weren't able to do it so fast last time was because we had a completely full stockpile. And obviously we've got a bit more storage now, which is quite nice. God, look at it all. So many steel slag chunks too. That's why I built these. But we'll go ahead and smelt metal from slag as a kind of high priority there as well. There we go. Smelting. I could put that as like a priority 4 job. So if you've already got nothing better to do. To be honest, I would prefer it to them hauling and cleaning to some extent. And we're going to make sure that doesn't conflict with hauling and cleaning. Would I prefer that? Yeah, we've got people dedicated to cleaning and with a high tier and hauling there too. The only jobs it would overwrite is repair. And we've got a lot of crappy people on repair. So they wouldn't really help out too much anyway. This is far more beneficial to the colony, I think. Oh, the acacia trees are done. Nice. Okay, let's not allow sowing on that one then. Let's just get that one harvested. Fantastic. Okay, not a huge amount of wood, but again, we don't have any on the map at all. So it's good just to have that for any recipes that call for wood as a kind of minimum. I think some guns require that, don't they? 131 out of 30 components. You're right, we don't really need to do much with that, do we? How are we looking with gunsmithing? So advanced fabrication is just about to finish, and that's obviously a really, really big one if we want to end up building armor for our people, especially as we go through the higher difficulties. If you guys obviously decide that's something you want to see, as we go through the higher difficulties, the advanced components are going to be just, I mean, essential to our survival. I think the first thing I'll do is I'll give all the Immortals a Cataphract helmet. External walls are almost finished as well. Very good. Now Windsor's trapped inside, but to be honest, that's probably a good thing, because that way it'll encourage them to get these roofs built quicker. Granted, we haven't got to worry about the tornadoes for a very, very long time. We might even die before we see the tornadoes. So I think we'll put an auto door. If we put an auto door like there and there, that way enemies can't use it as a point of entry either. But it would be good just to keep that for repairs. They can repair from inside the wall. That way if we get attacked by a mass of, I don't know, insects or something like that, and they start weakening it, we can safely undo the damage. Not assigned to... Are you not a builder, though? Construction 9.56, and you're not assigned to deconstruction. My bad. Okay, we'll do that then. Let you finish building the roof first. I'll make sure that all the walls are roofed over, but that is looking pretty good. Thank you for the meditation. That'll do it. Okay, I'm pretty excited to see how the tornadoes handle that. I think they're just going to fly straight through still, aren't they? Let's be reasonable. They're probably still going to fly straight through. What we could also do then, because there's kind of... I've got kind of two working theories. It is either the roofs that stop them flying through, or it is the fact that they are able to slip maybe between wall segments or something weird like that. We could build the external reinforced wall twice over. So we've got a double thick reinforced wall, then an air gap, then our base. We could even go as far to insulating this whole thing, if we want to. We could do an insulated wall here, and then go another reinforced wall. I don't know, that sounds like that could be a lot of work. And we haven't really got that many resources. Sure, we're drowning in components right now, but that's not the be-all, end-all, unfortunately. Shit's in 19 hours. So let's go deal with these mechanoids before I forget. So that'll be the first thing to do tomorrow. Meteor... Oh, God. Okay, everyone's indoors anyway, right? So we haven't got much to worry about. Yes, they are. Where are they landing? They're landing over here. Okay. Couldn't have landed on the... Couldn't have landed on the mechanoids at all, could it? So somebody said there was a trick to these wind turbines. Like, uninstalling them, reinstalling them, then reloading the game resets their wind area. I mean, obviously you're not supposed to be able to reinstall wind turbines. But, I mean, if that's what it takes, then that's what we'll do. Because that was a free wind turbine that came in installed. So, you know, there'd be no other way to use that short of removing it. Obviously taking it apart and then just building a fresh one with the components. Okay, our people are waking up. When we've got everybody awake and kind of going about their regular business, that's when we will send them into battle. But I want to make sure that they are kind of well rested. Their moods are decently high. The last thing we want is them going on a mental break right next to a mechanoid cluster and getting shot instantly and dying horribly. It might even be worth to send in everybody but the Immortals, because those heavy charge turrets, I mean, both... Oh, hang on, there's 3 Inferno cannons. Oh, that changes things. Those genuinely aren't as lethal. The only thing we've really got to worry about is the slugger turret. What's the range on those? They can hit us behind the rocks. So if we put a door kind of here and here, or maybe just a door directly through and let our people go right through the center. Although Lord Windsor just ran past. Well, to be fair, they haven't woken up yet. We could just go for it before they wake up. How long have we got? 11 hours. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, you know what? I'm going to send in everybody. I might be a little more apprehensive sending the Immortals if there were a load of, like, charge turrets and things like that. That would be a different scenario. The only issue with this is we do need to space them out, and there's not really much room to space them out into, you know? Let's see here, then. Let's put 5 here. Let's put... Windsor... Can you even reach with your gun? No. See, we're going to have to bring you quite close. What about, like, there? That's still not going to reach at all, is it? Okay, let's get you out of here, then. Battle rifle will definitely reach. Let's bring you over here. No, it won't. Wow. Well, that is an issue I never considered. It might be down to Sharamus, Fingers, and RoboDaddy to deal with this, because no one else has weapons with long enough range. Roger Wilco, yours should. Right, get out of here. How are we looking with that one, too? Still no? Okay, goodbye. Wow, this sucks. The LMG. Terrible range. Get out of here. Battle rifle, we've already checked. Oh, this sucks. Okay, Sharamus, come stand over here, then. RoboDaddy's in position, basically waiting to go. Fingers, we could put you, like, there, but... Put him, like, there. It's a bit too close to RoboDaddy. You know, I'm going to get 5 out there, because 5 can reach with that rifle. Okay, fair enough. Let's get 5 to attack first. We want to spread them out as much as possible, because we're against Inferno turrets. It would be safer still to put RoboDaddy, like, there. You know what I'm going to do? Okay, here's a plan. It's a bad plan, but it will work. Let's get everybody... Let's get these guys in a position of ambush, right? We're going to open fire with these ones, try and take out the slugger turret. The Inferno cannons are so slow and do a little damage, and it's raining, more importantly, that probably won't be such an issue. So I think we get these guys to deal with the accurate slugger turret, take it out, and then these guys can back off into cover while these guys come down, and we'll try and bait the auto Inferno cannons to a fire at the Immortals, because if they get burnt, they'll heal from it. Then we send these guys to just rush them down. Let's give it a go. I hate this idea. Everybody's going to die. Okay, here we are. Take it down. Fingers, open fire at that one, if you please. RoboDaddy, fire at that one. 5. Bear in mind, the second the first shot goes, everything's going to wake up, so take this slowly. Ready? Okay, Mechanoids have woken up. These are going to snap into action. Or not. They do have a minimum range. We could just... Okay, that's what I wanted. Mech drop beacon is activated. So this is what we need the reinforcements there for. The reinforcements are actually in prime position too, which is quite nice. Okay, how are we looking? If we can just do a bit more damage to that, it might even take out a couple of the turrets. You need to back off. You need to get behind some cover, and you need to back off behind some cover as well. Sharamus is behind cover. These guys are going to run out from here and draw out the Lancers. Oh, someone's already down. Who have we lost? Moira immediately got shot there. Barely even got out of the hiding place. Unbelievable. Doves, rifle, please. Okay, kill that Scyther. Kill that Scyther. Hey, kill the fucking Scyther. It's right there. How many shots does a Scyther take to down? There we are. Okay, Roger Wilco got hit. Not a big deal. How are we looking? Sharamus is fine. RoboDaddy's fine. Fingers got a hit, but again, not an issue. Hit by the... This is what I'm talking about. The mini slugger hit him in the neck. That was dangerously close to him dying horribly. Right. What's he aiming at now? 5 managed to avoid another hit there. Very good. Roger Wilco got hit by an Inferno. These guys are just here to act as support. I need you. Who's our other medical? 5. Shit. We got a lot of people bleeding out here. That's what I wanted to see. Okay, that's all I cared about. Pull back, pull back, pull back. Pull back, pull back, pull back. There we go. Very nice. Very nice. Good shit. Good shit. Okay. We need to tend to our people. If we can take out the other Inferno cannon, that's fine. We can do some field tending. So let's put down some sleeping spots very quickly. Man, this was bad. This was a bad place for cover for us. We have 4 slots out of... I think even then, like, Fingers' hiding point, RoboDaddy's hiding point was on a terrible angle. Let's get you a bit closer, deal with that one. Come on, take it down, take it down. Can't fire in a few seconds. There we go, boom, that's what I wanted to see. Very nice. Okay, start saving our people. Rescue Moira. 5, get down here, get into a sleeping spot. Fingers also needs tending. Fingers needs tending, but it's inessential. Right, let's move you all down. We're going to go Doctor Care here. You rescue Moira. Okay, there we are, there we are. No, 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 no. Oh, because she's going to take him to any fucking medical bed. Forbid. Right, let's get back over here. You rescue Moira. No, 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 rescue Moira. No! Fucking stop that! Oh! This game. Please. I'm not going to forbid every bed in the colony. Please, for the love of God, rescue Moira. There we are. Okay, we're fine, we're fine, we're fine. RoboDaddy, on that one. Right away. Tend to Moira. Let's go Doctor Care. And tend. And then 5, how's 5 doing? You could, to be fair, self-tend. It's probably not going to be the prettiest thing, but we'll give it a go. No, no, stop. Stop. No, I don't care about the fire. I need to be clear here. Could not give less of a shit about the fire. Fingers is already healed up, so I don't really care about Fingers anymore. Right, so RoboDaddy's tending. The rest of you can beat out this fire, which is apparently so important. It's quite literally life or death between 5. It's... Why can I not... Oh, self-tend disabled. Let's try... There we are. Go. Oh... Okay, we're fine. 7 hours. 44% quality for tending yourself stood up in the rain. That's pretty good. That's not bad at all. RoboDaddy, where have you gone? Oh, she's already tended. Well, that was fast. Oh, she was only hitting the clavicle and the shoulder. Right, okay. So it was extreme damage, but obviously it very, very kind of centralized there. Can we get you to carry Moira back? And let's get you to tend to... Oh, apparently RoboDaddy's already on it. You know what? You can walk home. Don't do that. Complete mess. That sucked that we had so many Inferno cannons, because I wanted to spread them out, but of course we didn't have the cover to spread them out. It didn't go badly. We didn't lose anyone. We didn't take any permanent damage. I can't complain. You know, it quite literally could have only gone worse. You know, we could have avoided all damage entirely by maybe being far cleverer than I ever could possibly be, but the outcome would have been identical, so I don't really care. This is a problem though, huh? Blocked by limestone. Yeah, I think I'll probably go save and quit very briefly, just because if we're having power issues, the last thing I want is for game mechanics to limit the power coming in. There we go. That was quite literally all it took to solve our power issue as well. How's Moira doing? I'm keeping an eye on diseases, things like that, but with I mean, infection chance is quite low due to the fact that she didn't take so much damage, so the chance of an infection is lower just by mass, I guess, there. Torso, left lung, and spine. Man, I'm surprised you didn't die. Imagine tending your own lung and spine as you just stood up in a field. That's brave. I appreciate that. So we've got a dartboard in our rec room there. We've got a billiard table, we've got a poker table, we've got a piano. It's a little bit cramped in here, like I said, so this will be the first room, if any, we redo. But I quite like the way it is right now because we do have the radio that can cover the whole thing. If I were to install the radio there, that would be in the middle of everything, wouldn't it? Oh, no, because it's a little bit off-center. Or is it off-center or is that just the way I built the doors? It doesn't matter. I'll deal with that shit measure up between episodes. Why are they delivering to these paved tiles as well? Hang on. Let's go ahead and reset that. I've seen that a couple of times in this playthrough where we've had things that have been blueprinted that just never ended up getting built. A witch worker named Morgan is crashing in a transport pod who has a helmet. A helmet that Sharamus would pay big bucks for. Are you any good? Creepy breathing, super immune, 10 medical. I like 10 medical, but the fact that you're incapable of violent makes me very sad. Oh, his name is Skeleton, though. How can I not? Thank you, Mr. Skeleton. Let's go and get him. Let's rescue him as soon as possible. Bleeding out in 3 hours. Oh, I don't think we're going to be able to get down there in time. Don't send Sharamus. He's a limpy man. Go send you. Fingers is also affected by sensory mechanite, so I guess he'll be super speed. Come on, please hurry, please hurry. Have we got a bulk goods trader? What is this? What type of trader are you? Slaver. It's got to be a slaver with that many people, right? Militia of the Blue Forest Settlement. What? Hang on. Was I not clicking on the trader there? Oh, it doesn't matter. We'll find out in a second. Be a nice surprise for us all, won't it? It is a slaver. I thought it would be the case with that many bloody people following them. How are we going? You know what, Fingers? I feel like they're beyond saving. They are. Strip them. Strip them, get that marine helmet. Finally, you're here to save me. No, I'm just here to take your things. Okay, so we've got Rojog, the steward. The stew keep. Another stew keep. Too smart, jealous, kind. 9 cooking. 6 plants. We've got Traw, Torturer. Psychopath, Iron Man, Brawler. I quite like that. Especially with some of the, obviously, the Blade Link weapons. I didn't check if this guy was immortal. We've got Santa. Officer. 11 animals. Animal lover, decent learner, trigger happy. Those are all fairly okay. Melee is pretty weak. Oh, God, your skill set overall is weak. Oh, you got a lot of issues, too. I think if I could afford any, I would buy them in the order of Rojug Draw. But again, we've got 1 silver. And I don't really think we can afford to get rid of the last of our gold. What are you doing? Are you putting that helmet on? Did I tell him to put that helmet on? I could have sworn I said haul it. Okay, well, that's fine. Fingers is probably my most valuable immortal anyway, so he can have that helmet. I'm going to make ballistic goggles, and I'm going to say 1 per colonist, and then I'm going to say count-equipped as well. And then what we'll do is we'll go into their thing here, and we'll make sure that those guys get ballistic goggles by default. But ballistic. Ballistic. Ballistic is spelt with an A. Of course it is. Ballistic goggles, there we are. Right, let's go ahead and throw that one on the list too. That way we can... I know a lot of our people are crap at shooting, but again, like I said yesterday, lower aiming time, more chance of actually hitting something, right? Because they're going to be firing more frequently. We've got 10 days left to decide what we want to do here with regards to a new structure. We've got a lot of building jobs underway as well. How much chem fuel are we going to get? 79% grown. We've already got to wait for that, haven't we, before we can do anything here. I might as well say no sowing on all areas there, because it's not going to work. I don't think we're going to have enough chem fuel to really do what I wanted to do. Where is the chem fuel? Somewhere in the middle of our stockpile under a pile of crap is explosives, I would assume. What does it count as? Like, food? Is chem fuel food? Chem fuel is not food. What the hell chem fuel counts as? Maybe we don't have any chem fuel in hindsight. We don't have remote search agency either, so it's not like I can... That's the problem with deep storage areas, ogre stack, things like that. It's very difficult to actually... Oh, we've got a gun in that one. Why have we got a gun on the shelf? Oh, because the shelves allow weapons. No, that's not right. That sucks, because we might have more weapons than I realized at that point. We've only got 247 cloth as well. I think we're going to have to use our old room there. The only issue is we've got 15 people, so there is not going to be enough room. It might be a case of taking away this internal wall here and building another external wall around the whole thing, which will mean we have to move the Helixing gas generator unless we just kind of double up on the walls. Oh, shit. Yeah, this is quite tricky, isn't it? There's a bad place for it. We've got 334 slate for reasons I don't quite know. And how much burlap do you think we could throw together? We've got 150 burlap. We've got 449 insulation slabs, though. And how much is each wall in terms of insulation slabs? 5. That's not... I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. What's that, like 80 walls? That's not very much. Not if we want to rebuild a whole new structure. We could go out just hunting. Hunting is top priority, kill everything that moves. And turn them all into... I could go ahead and put a pause on the burlap production as well. It's probably not a terrible idea. What are you making? Burlap duster? To be fair, Q and Cass both need a full set of gear. Let's put a pause on recycle insulation slabs. Suspend it. Let's go ahead and increase that one to 750. And let's try and get down a whole new structure. We'll put it over here. So this one I want to plan out a little bit more effectively. I think the double insulation with the air gaps works well. If we could get something with 2 air gaps, that would be ideal. So why don't we plan it from the inside out rather than from the outside in this time? So we're going to need how many beds for our people? And if we've got enough wood for all these beds, we're going to have to make them out of steel, aren't we? How many beds are we going to need? 15. Fucking hell. Okay. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then flip around this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll put a meal rack there. We need room for a wreck as well. So what I'm thinking is, why don't we go something like illuminated dresser? I think that actually gives the same amount of comfort. Does it say what comfort bonus it gives? 0.75 versus this one that's what? 0.75. Oh, was that the steel bed again? My bad, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Hang on. Put down those just so we can check the stats on them, basically. Doesn't say what it confers. That's a shame. I was hoping we could see if it was worth putting down the illuminated dresser for the extra comfort. I probably would, but I guess it doesn't really matter too much. So we can go ahead and put down maybe a couple of steel dressers. One there and one there. That way it connects to all the beds. And it means we've got a little bit of room for recreation. We are going to have to fill it with heaters, though, aren't we? Now, we have the Hulixine gas. Now, it'd be good to siphon that off into this new area. Now, I know people have said that there are the events similar to power cables blowing. Doesn't really matter too much, as far as I'm concerned. The only problem with that would be if we were to not have any gas whatsoever. So we could go for a gas tank inside the base. Will explode if damaged. What's the chance of it getting damaged, do you really think? Very unlikely. In fact, we could put this in the air gap. That wouldn't be so bad. Okay. So what are we thinking then? Let's go back to our temperatures. Let's go gas heater. 50 and 1. So if we go like this. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do you think that's probably sufficient? And then we could bring those over. We could go even harder. We could go like 12 on that. It's going to be a larger room now, don't forget. Then we've got room for a chest table over here. I know it's not much, but it's better than nothing. So let's go recreation. Let's go chest table. Put that down with a couple of chairs. This is a horrible way to live. But they have no choice. And then for storage, we want a meal tray rack. We might have to build survival meals. Alternatively, we could use the frozen outdoors as a meal cooling method. And then I think we put an insulated wall around the whole thing there. It leaves us with a bit more room, though, doesn't it? We could put down more heaters. We could put down the gas storage over there. That's probably not a bad idea. Okay, let's do exactly that. So let's go back to the power tab. And before we build all this, you guys can tell me why I'm wrong in the comment section. Let's put that down there. I think, I might be mistaken here, but if we put down a horseshoes pin, they could stand on that bed and that chair and play it, right? Put down an arcade machine, that would make way more sense. I don't know if they can interact with it, though, because the interaction spot is blocked. Long wave radio would make way more sense overall. Just give them the mood boost around the entire building. Right, so insulated wall fibers, I think, is what we're going for again this time. We've got a lot of slate, so we'll go for slate this time, rather than... What was the other one we were using? Limestone. Limestone. I'm going to forbid the rest of the external walls, because that's tornado proofing. And to be honest, we don't need tornado proofing any more than we need our Ice Age proofing right now. So let's go ahead and do that for the externals. Yeah, I'm liking that one. And then it'll just be all work on this. Look at them go. A little worker army there. Look at that. That's crazy. Okay. Hopefully that'll be enough. And again, we can turn off the heaters as we progress on. So bearing in mind that the difference between the Ice Age and the Fire Age is that though the Fire Age is a bit more dangerous with regards to food, obviously being a bit more of a concern because you can't cool it so easily. Not that we might end up doing that this time. The Ice Age does drop to -274, where the Inferno only gets to +220. It's much easier to insulate a base from the cold than it is to protect it from the heat, in my opinion. So, pros and cons. Pros and cons. Let's just see how it goes. We could always put down multiple layers of steel air gaps too if we really wanted to. We don't have any cloth, and we don't have enough for the last 5 beds. We are going to have to reinstall some beds. Now, I did say I wouldn't do that anymore because it's a pain in the ass. We do have a spare one in there. Just use bedrolls. And I guess rotate the people using the bedroll. We've got another one there, so that's not a big deal. Let's get that installed as soon as possible, please. Oh, right, of course, no path. There we go. What can we do for cloth? We can't build bed out of other materials. We can't make cloth in a hurry, bearing in mind that it is now the 5th of September. I don't think there's anything we do unless we get a trade ship. Oh, another transport pod. Wow. Heracus. Heracus Lakapanos from the Exodus Imperium. We have to try and rescue him then, don't we? Let's go and rescue policeman. Okay. It's got medical, shooting. I'm not going to capture him and piss off the Imperium. I don't even know why I'm bothering to check, to be honest with you. We could wait for him to die and then behead him. I don't think they'd be mad at that. He's not immortal either, so I guess it doesn't matter. We need to stop sending Sharamus to rescue people. He's probably not going to be able to get him home now in time. Might seem a little mad, but trust me on this one. I've decided to put down steel tiles, like actual steel tiles, not paved tiles, not concrete, but steel tiles inside the structure. I figured if they're spending a whole season in one room, probably couldn't hurt to make it as comfortable as possible, as nice looking as possible. We haven't got room for plant pots or any shit like that. So we've got the long wave radio that give permanent move boosts. We've got the steel tiles, keep it clean, keep it hopefully somewhat nice to look at. Robodaddy and Birdhouse von Clausewitz are competing to be the governor of the Immortals. Incredible. Another wild woman. I think I've seen more wild women in this pack than I have in the rest of every other series combined. 10 mining. I actually quite like that. No shooting, though. Yikes. Health? You've got your own shotgun. It's bio-coded. So I've told him to cook unlimited packaged survival meals. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and forbid that from the lavish food restriction. I thought I turned off raw meat. I don't know why I would have ever enabled that again, and especially no corpses. Let's go... What was I looking for here? Packaged survival meals, that's right. Let's go ahead and disable that one. Right, so that way... Did that save? Yes, it did. That way we can just churn out a shitload of meals, not have to worry about them eating it. They can eat the simple meals, they can carry on basically business as usual. With that regard, we can start storing them in here. I think it'd be nice to get that as a backup, but ideally what we'd want is on our maybe outerest layer, which isn't a word, but trust me. On the outerest layer, we could put... Even if it, you know, maybe one heater, let the temperature intentionally drop quite low, but not low enough to be deadly, just to store some meals in, and then they can start by eating the simple meals, then move on to packaged survival meals as the months tick on here. We're going to need a lot of food. We starved to death during the last time we were locked indoors with half as many people, so we've got to be very, very careful about how we do this. Fucking cold snap? Alright, we're going to have to harvest everything now. That's a lot to try and harvest in a very short period of time. Wow. Okay, draft, undraft. I'm going to put everybody top priority on harvest. There are some people that I wouldn't normally do it with, but we might as well take the gamble at this stage, huh? Oh, I don't think the game's happy about that. Oh, no. Oh, it's actually crashed. Wow. Okay, give it a second. Exotic goods trader. Hey, that's what I like to see. Okay. We're going to have a look at that in a second, see what that's all about. Wow. That's a lot of crops that it's expecting to get very quickly. 6 degrees. We've got a little bit longer. Hey, what do you think you're doing? No. We've got crops to harvest. Get the cam root. That's actually quite a high priority. Oh my god, I've left them up to the point where they've started to break and we're still going to lose most of the crop here. Shit. I mean, the beetroot's not going to blink at it, obviously. That's tragic. That's tragic. We specifically overplanted this season so that we could try and get as many crops as possible. Then we've just lost them all to the fucking cold. Even then, we're harvesting at the, 74%, so we've lost a lot of crop just to an early harvest, an unnecessarily early harvest as well. 675 chem fuel. Now what can we do? I mean, I still don't know how to refine, I think the clue's probably in the title there, refine the chem fuel down. If we put down a biofuel refinery, kind of like somewhere it's not going to get in the way too much. We'll put it over there. We're not going to use it too frequently either. But refineries aren't affected by work speed bonuses like tool cabinets, are they? So we'll put that in the stockpile. It's probably the safest place for it. We'll see if we can potentially get our cancelled resting, because Fingers is so sad. Weird. What I was thinking is our external wall we could build out of the highly insulated thing, and then have the insulation reduce as we come in there. We'll see what that's like. 8th of September. Harvesting core plant cancelled. They're all on extreme break risk. They can't do anymore. Settlers from the... Oh my god, I didn't even get a chance to... Fuck, okay. Cancel all of this type. That's a shame. That's a shame. We got a lot of corn. Don't get me wrong. We got a ridiculous amount of corn, but we also lost on a crazy amount. There it is. Okay, so it's 100 chem fuel to make 25 polymer slabs. Do forever. I would rather have insulated slabs in my stockpile than than polymer. Under skill required 5. What the hell skill does that require? Drug synthesis. What? Okay, we'll get Robo Daddy on it then, I guess. Not assigned to refining. Refining. Wow. Okay, I guess it kind of makes sense. Oh, God, not again. Oh, wow. Exactly the same place that the last one's landed, huh? Right. This time, I think we should probably craft some guns. It doesn't really matter what we craft. Heavy SMGs. So we can make assault rifles. That'll do. Let's go ahead and churn out 5 of those. How many do we need in total, though? Oh, look at all these ballistic goggles. My God, it's like the Matrix. The Farmer Matrix. I love it. Okay. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like 5 guns. I'm not sure about Moira. What have you got? You've got nothing as well. Let's get you down here. Dobbs has an assault rifle. I just want to double, triple check here. We can never be too careful. So we need 6 guns overall. Okay. Fingers, time to wake up. You've got an early day ahead of you, my friend. Oh. It's going to take so long the Ice Age is going to kick in. To be fair, we could just ignore it and let the Ice Age deal with it. Or is the final thing we do before we go into storage is just wake them up. Do we want to build that there? Is that not going to piss them off? Well, let's see what happens. This could be a horrible mistake. No, we're fine. Obviously, if you build walls too close to a mechanoid ship, it does actually horribly piss them off. Now, last time we woke one of these up, we got the insects coming out of it. Things like queens. We had the new insectoid mod insect, obviously, so I'd like to avoid that if at all possible. How is it only 21 in there? Oh, because they're only focusing on trying to hit 21, aren't they? Let's also plumb in the gas tank there, too. So let's do something like that. Let's get Shamus working on that straight away, just for our excess gas to be stored. Let's go and turn that off. I assume that way it'll stop it using the gas. Although we are storing a decent amount with it turned on, so I guess it doesn't really matter either way. How many advanced components we got? This is ridiculous. We've got 8. Right, let's put down some power solutions, because this is absurd. So every day, like, our grid just shuts down the second the wind speed drops even the tiniest amount. So we got 6, right? So should we go for 2 advanced solar panels just to provide it an alternate form of... We got 8. Okay, well, that would do for the time being then. Just to provide that alternate form of power, you know, something that's still going to be significant. And I think these solar panels are way, way, way more efficient than your regular one as well. Take up a slightly larger area, but this might be all we need, really, just to keep things going. Bear in mind, the wind turbines work kind of 80, 70% of the time whenever the wind is high. And when it's not, we've got the whole base shut down. The lack of batteries is definitely not helping. You know, with a wind-powered thing, you need a big chunk of batteries to really keep the lights on there. There we go. And how much are they producing? 2,775 watts apiece. That's actually very, very good, isn't it? Look at that. There we are. In terms of batteries, then, are they all connected up to the grid correctly? We've got one there. We've got one there. Yeah, see, we've only really got the equivalent of 4 batteries for the entire base. And there's that other 1-block battery. I don't know where exactly that's ended up. Yeah, it's not ideal. Right, well, let's put some down maybe in here. Then we'll get a couple more down. Have we got, like, advanced batteries now or something like that? Large battery, small battery. Okay, well, let's go for the large batteries, too, because like I said, if they break down, they're going to be way less to maintain. Put a couple over here. I want to be careful not blocking their movement too much, though. Put one there. Kind of obvious places. We could put another one over here. That's fine. We could put one there, too. I think that's okay. 150 polymer slabs. What have we got? We've got 95 limestone bricks, but that's not going to be enough. We could put out of steel. We could build out of steel. I think we worked out that steel was pretty terrible, though, but I don't think we've really got time right now with only 4 or 5 days left to mess around. I don't... Let's just do it. Let's build out of steel. Let's build out of steel. You know, we've essentially got ridiculous amount. We've got ridiculous amount of steel, but we've also essentially got infinite chem fuel, which takes a long time for it to grow. What about uranium? We got 190 uranium. I mean, a uranium insulated wall would be pretty dense, huh? Just do something like that. 198 uranium, 330 fiber. And how much fiber have we got? Shit, we haven't got enough. Bollocks. That's with it all turned over now, isn't it? With 75 more chem fuel. We need 100 to flip it over, don't we? Yes. Damn. It's not going to work either way. Unless we replace the internal wall with the polymer. Do an insulated uranium wall. It's 170 for that as well. Well, hang on. It's not 170 because we've got an extra block there. We could do not the corners, but I don't know how effective that's going to be. That sucks that we are quite literally, I mean, 1 refine off of being able to do that. Shit, we can go to 165, and that's basically everything. So if we cut the corners off, I still don't think that's going to be effective, cutting the corners off as well. I don't know if that's really going to make any bloody difference. To be honest, I'm not even sure that that wall in general will make a difference. I think it'd be more effective still to put down just another layer like that. 330 fibers we need for that, which we don't have either. Okay, right, insulated mass then. On the far outside, insulated mass with steel, it's going to do barely anything, but we can afford it, it's cheap, we're not potentially wasting resources doing it. If it doesn't help, it doesn't help. Who cares? It's made of steel and fibers that we're not going to use anymore. Well, that is where we will leave things for today. I wonder if we could get on the mortars quickly. We don't have any chem fuel now because I turned it all into walls. Shit. Yeah, let's leave it there for today then. We've got insects to deal with. We have a raid to deal with. We could maybe set the insects on them. We could try and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I feel like it's quite a dangerous strategy, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. We are at the end of my dedicated Patreon list. So after this, we'll be mixing up the Patreon and the coffee pledges into one big old list there. So stay tuned for that. And again, if you are on the coffee thing, you haven't given me a heads up for a shout out yet, please do. And I'll make sure you're added onto that list ready for tomorrow. Thank you to Icelandic Wolf, Chase, Crow Skull, Zulu, Vacuous Backers, Justin Wallace, Kekvit, Ure, I gotta remember, I think it's Ure, Caden Carter, Zerix, Valorane, and Limpy George, along with, of course, everyone else at the executive producer tiers on Patreon and Coffee. Thank you to all of those of you on Patreon for the last month, and of course, thank you to all of those of you who moved over to Coffee preemptively. That's much appreciated. Thank you guys for your support in that regard. And a thank you as well goes out to Demon X Jester, Demon Mason Fireblast, Saltalor, Erotha, Jacob Wolfie, Valkyrie, Asaro, Kate, Scaps, Altamosely, Hoopalia, Astro, Spirelli, Mohammed, Alexander H, Icy the Great, Magister Militant, Deadly Kitten Hunt, King Snitch Gaming, Empty Machine, I am Sagittaire, and of course everyone else over at, again, both Patreon and Coffee. Double thank you to those of you who moved over preemptively, and a special thanks to those of you who have joined us in our last month over on Patreon. See you all tomorrow for raids, insects, and Ice Ages.